Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. It is a Saturday, and we are going to be discussing a lot of Arsenal stories today. We're going to be discussing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been banished from the Arsenal training ground. He will not be training with the Arsenal first teams until the end of AFCON. We will dive into that because it's a story that, for me, this is too low from Mikel Arteta, and that is really too low from Arsenal Football Club. And we'll also dive into the fact that Arsenal have been confirmed to have put in their official offer, their official inquiry from Guido Rodriguez for Guido Rodriguez, to Real Betis. We'll try to dive into that, and of course, more of Arsenal speculations. Today we'll try to dive into that as well. Your comments, your reactions, and of course, I would really love to interact with you on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, and that's why we will not be having the morning shows. The morning uploads on Saturdays and Sundays. We'll be having the live shows. But anyway, hit the like button, people. Subscribe to the channel as well if you love the content. Of course, if you're a big Arsenal fan, make sure you give me a like, because I'm also a very, very big Arsenal fan. We are sponsored by the beautiful people at Melbourne. Make sure you do check out Melbet. They're sponsoring our video today, and they are saying they'll give you a 300% bonus if you sign up with them. Link is in the video description already. Make sure you sign up with Melbet if you want to earn some money off your passion. Many of you do betting. Many of you do like placing some money out there just to try your luck. Make sure you do it with Melbet. They're sponsoring us. Use promo code Cossy to to support the channel as well. Of course, today the big game is Arsenal Leeds. That is at Melbourne down there. Arsenal Leeds is the big is the big game. 3.92 for Leeds. 1.97 is the odd for Arsenal. And I'm really surprised. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. I'm really surprised that we are having a 1.97 odd against Leeds. It's good. Yes, it's not an easy game, but I didn't expect Melbet to give us such an, or maybe it is a Christmas bonanza. I mean, literally, if you place $1 million on this one, you're getting 900,000. There. If I was gonna bet $1 million, I would bet $1 million on us, because I still feel we will beat Leeds United, despite the fact that our away form is awful. We are really, really, really the worst team here in the league in terms of playing away from home. But I think we will win the game. Of course, join me live on the kickoff. 1 hour to the game. We will be breaking down the game and getting your predictions. But right now, let's get to the content. Our like target, as always, is 300 likes. So make sure as you watch, you also hit the like button. Let's start off with the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang I'm not even going to say anything more. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been banned from the Arsenal training ground. What we can confirm and what I understand from Sky Sport is that the player will not be training with Arsenal, with the Arsenal first team. He is not training with the Arsenal first team at the moment, and will not be training with the Arsenal first team until the end of AFCON in January. Absolute disgrace, lads. Absolute disgrace. What do you think about this? Arsenal, a club of such stature, a club, the way we are handling things, yes, maybe there's been a lot of misunderstandings, but Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is being treated like Mesut Ozil, the same way. So the story is, lads, that Arsenal are actually working to sell him in January, and he is not training. He's not allowed to train with the rest of the first team squad. He's not training with the rest of the first team. He is not allowed to come near the training ground. Yesterday, it was reported that he actually came to training 1 hour and a half earlier than any other player. 1 hour and a half earlier than any other player to the training ground. And when Mikel Arteta came to the press conference, he said the player is not available for selection. That is what he said. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is not yet available for selection for the Leeds game. But the true information, the real information, is that he has banned the player from training, from joining the Arsenal team, first team in training. What are your thoughts, lads, there? Because look, guys, let's speak about it honestly. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang made a mistake as a player. It was a really, really immature mistake. And you remember, I came out here and scorned him. I came out here and said the best way for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is to find another club. But I said, do not, and I still remember this, because I knew it was coming. When I read that press conference from Mikel Arteta, I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to freeze out Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I knew he was going to throw him out of the window. I knew he was going to destroy his career. Because, look, why do we say Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang shouldn't be training with us? Why is he not training with the first team? He's been our leading talisman at this football club. I do agree, no player is bigger than a club. There is no player who can ever be bigger than football club Arsenal. That is a fact. But also the way we handle matters. The way we handle such situations matters. Honestly, I'm going to say this. We have handled this in a very, very immature way, especially on the side of Mikel Arteta. Because look, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if you've stripped him of his captaincy, that's fine. That is okay. He is not a leader. Actually, many pundits have just come out and said, in the first place, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has never been a leader. They gave him to be a leader, maybe just, but he has never been a leader as a player. He's never had those qualities. He's never been, that player that talks to other players. He's never led by example. He's never been that kind of player that you trust to be a leader. So it was a mistake from Arsenal Football Club. And I think the mistake we made, we are trying to shift that mistake. We are trying to shift the blame, all the blame to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think that is what we are trying to do. We're trying to shift everything available to blame for on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Because for me, it is too harsh. It is absolutely too harsh that we say Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is banished from the training ground. One of our best players in that side in the past 5 years, right? And I think that, look, I think Mikel is actually overreacting. Let's speak about Mikel. He is overreacting, and that's the problem when you have such a manager. He talks about non-negotiables. He talks about the high standards, but where do the high standards, where do the high standards and non-negotiables leave the club, leave the rapport between you and the players? If 5 players did that, are you actually going to banish them? You're going to tear your dressing room apart. I think what Mikel Arteta is doing here is a piece of very, very immature man management. Honestly, very, very immature man management. And listen, I think there have been some cases where he's really handled well in terms of man management, and I will give him the credit for that. But this one for me, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and the situation, he has failed. He has failed. Mikel Arteta, this is so immature. Banishing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, that is the last thing I thought Arsenal would do. Honestly, guys. That is the last thing I thought Arsenal would do. I didn't think we were going to banish Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from the training ground. So the idea there is that if we banish him from the training ground, he goes out in AFCON and he comes back in February. Arsenal are trying to find a club. He's been offered to, according to Corriere dello Sport, he's been offered to Juve, Inter, and AC. So what they're trying to do is that they're trying to freeze him out, frustrate him, so that he pushes further to find a club. That is really, really ungrateful. That is really, really ungrateful. We are looking like, look, with Mesut Ozil, we could have run away with it because that one was so political, right? That was so political. But this one, there is no way we're gonna run away with it. The same manager freezing out players like that. Yes, it is a punishment. I do understand, but how far should we go? Because again, all those things have to be there. If you've set standards and they are there, and there is a penalty, because again, if you put laws, if you put regulations, if I break them, you give me a reasonable penalty. Banishing a player because he came back. Listen, he came back late from his trip. punish him. Violated COVID-19 rules, punish him. And I think stripping him of his captaincy is the greatest thing we should have done. That should have been the limit. That should have been the limit. Nothing other than that. According to what I know is that the information I have, the player is not rebelling. The player is not refusing to train. The player is not showing any attitudes, not really positive, because when you're stripped of your captaincy, you've been a leader. I mean, it's so hard to be positive, like nothing happened. And I do understand, that from that point of view. We all do understand that from that point of view. It's so hard to be, to be positive. Is you're gonna have low spirits. And we do understand that. What I do not understand on the side of Arsenal Football Club is how we just come up and say, Aubameyang, 3 good seasons, 2 bad seasons, cases of indiscipline, we are going to freeze you out. You are no longer, anywhere close. This is the same player. We gave a contract and he said, I want to be a legend here. Yes, it has not really worked out in terms of the pitch and things like that. Maybe he doesn't believe in the project or things like that. But in terms of the image of the club, I think Mikel Arteta is really destroying it. I think, from Mesut Ozil, the way we handled that, it was so bad. It was. I'm not even going to say immature and use those terminologies. Let's go straight to it. It was bad. And what we are doing at the moment with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is bad. Don't come closer to the squad. Like, is he sick of some, some deadly disease or something? No. He is a player who is violated rules. This is so unfair. This is a lot of favoritism that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang gets frozen out, and Granit Xhaka is a darling. Congratulations. Xhaka is a darling. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is an outcast. If I look at the both of them, where is the difference? Where is the difference between Xhaka and Aubameyang? Freeze out Aubameyang, throw out Xhaka. But he knelt down and said, don't go to Roma, please, Xhaka. I'm going to give you more money. I'm not saying Aubameyang should get more money. I'm not saying Aubameyang should sign a bigger contract at Arsenal. That is not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that there should be some level of fairness if we are going to claim that the manager is trying to implement, some degree of standards. There should be some level of fairness. There is no fairness at all. Banishing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, for me, is wrong. It is bad. It is bad. It actually kills the motive of why we stripped him of his captaincy. Because the motive was, we hate him, and we do things together, and we do things the right way. So the right way should be the leaders lead by example. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang failed at that, not on one occasion, but on more than one occasions. According to Romano, there have been a couple of similar incidents back in there that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was committing, off, and he was actually getting away with it until the last incident, which was the spark. Because Romano says this was only the spark. It was not. It was not that he did it, so he got punished. It was the spark. It was what was fronted in the media as the reason, but a couple of other incidents had happened in there, according to Romano, and I do understand that. But let's say this, lads: banishing a player, like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, is over. That is too much. The penalty, as compared to the violation, I just feel like it is wayward. It is too much, right? At least let him train with the first team. Let him make it to the bench, right? For PR reasons. And I've seen clubs do this. Maybe for PR reasons. Maybe for the mental health of the player. Has he even thought about that? Has Mikel Arteta thought about the mental health of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? It's like getting a divorce, right? It's like getting a divorce, and then your landlord says, you're also no longer welcome in this neighborhood. You should find somewhere else, right? We are piling problems, all problems, and this is what Arsenal do. We pile excuses on one party. Well done, Mikel Arteta. What he's done is that he's gonna cover all his mistakes on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's gonna say Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is to blame for all the nonsense that this club is in. I do not agree with that. I absolutely disagree with that. And everybody should know on this channel that I disagree with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang being banished from the Arsenal squad. I disagree with with the way we are treating Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It is absolutely stupid. We are stooping so low. Absolutely. It's unacceptable, guys. It is really unacceptable. He's been captain. Give him some respect. Where is the respect? Where we have standards, but we don't have any virtues of respect, because we are not really respecting Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with what we are doing. Strip him of his captaincy. Cossy agrees. You remember, I say that. I do agree, take the captaincy away. But do not, at any point in time, do not think about banishing him. I say that on that live stream. If you go back and rewatch it, I say it. Don't think about banishing the player. Don't think about freezing him out. Don't think about humiliating and embarrassing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. That was what Mikel Arteta has done. And you know what? This is the consequence of having such a manager, right? A manager with an ego. The only thing he has in his career so far is his ego. Non-negotiables, which are actually negotiable, because if you're saying Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has violated your non-negotiables, what did Xhaka do? Someone violated your non-negotiables before you were here, right? And when you came in here, you give him a clean slate. And then Aubameyang, what you've done is you've painted Aubameyang's slate very dirty. It doesn't make sense for me, lads. It really doesn't make sense. I think Arsenal need to get better, need to work on this. We need to find a possible solution. It shouldn't be Mikel Arteta, the likes of Edu, the likes of Vinay, all the money. This is unacceptable. It is really unacceptable. It happened with Matteo Guendouzi. I think that was the start. Then Mesut Ozil, and now Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Right? I mean, we should stop this nonsense. If he has done wrong, we agree. Treat him with some respect. He's been one of our best players in the side. Treat him with some respect. Treat him with utmost respect. Let him train. What is so wrong? What has he done so wrong that when he comes back in the side, like, it's gonna affect the side very poorly? And I've seen a couple of mugs justifying the situation, and they are saying Arsenal have won 58%. Is it 56 or 58% of their games this season without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, getting an average of 1.9 points, and they have lost. They have failed to win a percentage of around 47% of their games with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the pitch this season. Shut up. That is absolute nonsense. When he was scoring the goals, there was a time when Aubameyang was scoring the goals. He was the only player in there scoring those goals. Why didn't you bring out those statistics? Why do you bring them out at the moment? They're trying to justify, and I say this, it's going to be a very hard time for Aubameyang. The media are trying to justify that Arsenal are right. Arsenal as a club are right. The player is no longer needed anymore because we are doing so well without him. Look, whether he makes it to the pitch or not, I do not even care, right? Because if Aubameyang is off the pitch, I know we can win games now. And I've always called him to be out of the lineup. But being banished from training, was captain, right? 5 days ago, captain. 5 days ago, captain. 5 days later, cannot train with the first squad. Who the hell does that? It is Mikel Arteta's ego. It is Mikel Arteta's immaturity, and it's because look, guys, this could tear down the dressing room. If he's, you have to think about it. If he's been captain, there are a couple of players who are going to really feel bad. If I'm a player in the Arsenal side, I'm not really going to feel good because Aubameyang is banished. Many players are not going to feel well. because their captain is banished. And you know what is funny is that Mikel Arteta is trying to paint the picture. The squad is very happy. The players are very happy. They're actually happy with the decision of the club. It's a lie. Not everyone, not every player is going to be happy that their captain has been humiliated and embarrassed. But also it creates that moment of insecurity that what if I do a mistake, right? Look, there must be standards, and you must have a way, to implement those standards, to make sure that they are followed, the regulations. But players must also have that kind of security that when it's not like whenever I do a mistake, I'm gonna be banished. And like you're creating tension. We are creating unnecessary tensions. Mikel Arteta is creating unnecessary tensions. He's creating unnecessary media attention that we don't even need at the moment. Our focus should be on the top four. But what is it even doing? Right? He's looking at his squad now, beating Southampton and West Ham, and it's like, we are good to go. We have won the last 2 games with Aubameyang banished. We are good to go. But this thing is gonna have long-term effects on this team. It's gonna have. And I'm absolutely amazed. Make sure you hit the like button, people. We are 25 likes. Let's get in for 5 more likes and get them to 30. Absolutely happy with you, lads, for doing that. Thank you so much. So, guys, honestly, let's think about it. Let's speak about it. It is a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Aubameyang is being treated poorly by Arsenal Football Club. It's a disgrace, and I think Mikel Arteta's ego is again doing a lot of mayhem at the side. It's immature from Mikel Arteta. Immature, very, very immature. That is not how you handle a player, one of the oldest players, in a batch of young players. That's not how you handle that situation. That is not, because Ian Wright came out and made a very interesting point. He said, instead of saying all that trash, all that nonsense, Mikel Arteta could have said, he is our player and he is under contract under Arsenal. End of story. That is a quality statement. How many times have we had managers speak about their players in such a way? It just drives off the traffic, right? It drives off the traffic. And we've had so many times when players are linked with clubs and maybe deals are closed or the rumors are so intense, and the manager just comes out and says, he is our player. He's still under contract. We love him here. He loves to be here. We'll see what happens in the future. As simple as that. Simple, clear, and it tells it all, right? Yes, it is not. Listen, it is not an honest statement. But at times you need to protect the club. You also need to protect the player Aubameyang. Because look, like I said, we are not even sure what is the mental health status of this lad. We are not even sure how well is he coping up with this situation. We are not even. I'm so surprised that Mikel Arteta, the man they have already said he's a very, very good manager, is now throwing his players under the bus like this, banishing them. Like, is he considering the effects it could have on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Has he even considered that? Has he even thought about the fact that this player could be, affected in a way beyond, humiliation and embarrassment? Has he thought about that? Has he thought of any adverse effects? I doubt he has. Right, but anyway, Sky Sports have also said today in the morning. I've seen them discussing with David Onstein and a couple of other, journalists, just like they do every Saturday morning, and they are saying that Arsenal are very, very sure that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is for sale this January. We are trying to push him out. They have not really talked about the possibility of signing in a new striker, surprisingly, but Fabrizio Romano has already talked about that. And they are saying, according to Calistio Mercato, the 3 clubs that we have offered Aubameyang to are Juve has been offered to. We have also offered to Inter Milan and AC Milan. And what I think, my point in here, I'm just gonna make it very, very quickly, is I think with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if we want him no more, if we are going to banish him, let us pay the rest of the money on his contract and let him go on free. I don't know. He's one player I don't want to see humiliated and embarrassed like that. I'm not. I'm for Mikel. I'm not on his side today. I'm absolutely not inside. How can you say you're gonna banish him? He's gonna train alone until AFCON. What has he done so bad? What has he done so wrong that he's gonna? Um, Let's move on to the next story then. Guido Rodriguez, Arsenal have submitted their official inquiry for Guido Rodriguez to Real Betis. I talked about that yesterday when we were talking about Mason Greenwood. And anyone who thinks that these stories are actually off the mark, you're absolutely wrong. I do pick these stories from the leading outlet, and then we come to discuss them. So according to rumors in Spain, Arsenal have actually put in a second official inquiry for Guido Rodriguez. Now, last June, this June actually, I was about to say last June, but it is this June, this year, in the summer, Arsenal did put in their official inquiry again for the first official inquiry for Guido Rodriguez. However, the bid was rejected. Real Betis thought the money was substantially off the mark. It was substantially below what they wanted, because for them, again, they wanted around 30 million euros, and Arsenal were willing to only spend around 17 million euros on Guido Rodriguez. But Arsenal are back again as they try to sign in a new midfielder. So Guido Rodriguez, I think what Arsenal are trying to do in this situation is we are trying to find that player that can fill in for Thomas Partey, but also fill in for Granit Xhaka. I think I'm highly positive that in the summer we might see a lot of Granit Xhaka out. Rumors. We might see a bigger possibility of Granit Xhaka leaving the club, and that's why the likes of Arthur Melo and the likes of Guido Rodriguez are being linked more and more to Arsenal Football Club. But Guido Rodriguez is a talented guy. Argentine, of course, I do love players from Argentina. He's very, very talented. He's very commendable. It's one of his very basic attributes. Very, very calm on the ball. But I think the build of a midfielder that Arsenal should be going for is so different. Very, very, very different. Just a moment. Oh, I think the midfielder we want is not is not what Guido Rodriguez has. His passing is solid. It's very, very lit. And if anyone doubts his passing, you would be wrong. His passing is actually very, very lit. I'm just looking for his market value and things like that. Here on FB Ref, right? And this, I'm going to show you. I'm going to read to you his strongest attributes of his game. I think his strongest attributes are more like Thomas Partey's, right? They're more like Thomas Partey's. So if you look at him here, his position is a central midfielder. He can also play as a defensive midfielder. Most of the time, he plays with the right foot. 91% of the time. Born in April 1994 in Argentina. That means he's 27 years of age. He'll be making 28 in April next year. That is Guido Rodriguez for you. This season in La Liga, he's played 14 games for them with 2 assists. That is for Real Betis. Played 14 games and he has already played 1,024 minutes and 2 assists. If you look at this season, his expected number of goals stands at 0.4. Expected number of assists stands at 0.3 per 90. So his game is actually more of a defensive player than an attacking player. I would take Guido Rodriguez under these 2 conditions. One, if he's coming in as a backup to Thomas Partey, I would. But thinking of Guido Rodriguez as a backup to Thomas Partey, Then why do we have Albert Sambela? Because for me, Lokonga is that good player that can be very, 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 fit to be an understudy to Thomas Partey. So I still think, Lokonga should be the understudy to Thomas Partey. So for me, the qualities I would be looking at. Let's go through his strength as a player and see, does he actually qualify for the profile of midfielder we are lacking at Arsenal. So what are his strengths? Pass completion, 85.9. I think in terms of pass completion, that is a quality that we need. We don't need to give away the ball, because the style of play that Mikel Arteta is trying to implement with his players is hold the ball and pass it around. Hold the ball, pass it around very, very often. I think that is the style that Mikel is trying to implement. Right, hold the ball, pass it around, build that quality press. We are at 44 likes. Thanks everybody for doing that. Make sure you hit the like button more. 6 more likes to 50. Let's get that done. 65 people watching. 6 more likes to 50. Let's get it done. Let's get that done. So guys, Guido Rodriguez, pass completion 85. That is lit. That is okay. But for a player who passes more in our own half, or in a no danger zone, he has to raise that to at least 88%. Because if you look at players like Martin Odegaard plays more in the opponent's half, but his pass completion stands at 89.9. Per 90. His passing is so late. And actually, when we were comparing him to James Maddison, we said that the beauty with Odegaard is his ability to pass the ball. But anyway, we're not talking about Odegaard here. So, Guido Rodriguez, passing accuracy is good. That is one of the strongest areas he has. And the other strongest area is pressures applied. Actually, he applies more pressures than any other Arsenal player per 90. He applies 22.41 pressures per 90. That is OTT. That is OTT. And I think the reason, come to think of it, maybe Mikel Arteta wants to sign Guido Rodriguez because he wants that player who can help him, who can help the team win the ball easily all the time, win it back easily, win it back, all the time. I think Fernandinho and Rodri do it at City. N'Golo Kante does it very well at Chelsea. I think Fabinho also does it very well at Liverpool. If you're going to play a high quality press, you need that player you fall back to. And that Guido Rodriguez could be that player, but you also need that player that always is tasked with winning the ball back despite the conditions. And I think Guido Rodriguez is also that kind of player. Tackles per 90, 3.19. Again, if you look at how our players do apply tackles per 90, he is he's still over any other player in tackles applied. Interceptions per 90, almost at the same rate as Lokonga and Partey, 2.26, but there he stands at 90%. Blocks per 90 stands at 98%. That is 2.53 for a central midfielder, for a defensive midfielder. 2.53. That means he's almost built as a centre back, right? Because his his blocking ability is 98%, interception 90%, tackles 90%, pressures 85%. That is impressive. That is so impressive, right? But let's think about it. Let's talk about this then. Progressive carries 20%, right? Dribbles completed 0.78 per 90, right? Passes attempted 53. That is quite fair. But his weak attributes are these: shot creating actions 29%, number of expected assists per 90 10%, number of expected goals per 90 0.05, which is actually 40%, based on the fact that he's a midfielder. So I think his statistics are more of a defensive player. He's going to add another defensive layer. He's going to add another defensive shield to the Arsenal midfield and to the Arsenal squad. Now, I think this is where I disagree with Mikel Arteta. We already have a good backline, and we have a good midfield pivot. What we need is a player who's going to add to the press. Our problem is going forward better. Going forward, being able to challenge clubs that do have quality presses and quality defenses. When it comes to quality defenses, we can't break them down. That is our problem. Our problem is not how we defend the ball. Our problem is how can we break down teams that know how to defend the ball. That is our problem, right? So I think the caliber of midfielder, the caliber of central midfielder that we need is not Guido Rodriguez. Absolutely. It's not Guido Rodriguez. Partey can do that. I think Partey is even better in some attributes than Guido Rodriguez. I think Partey is that all-round midfielder. You just need to trust him. And also get a very, very good player besides Thomas Partey. Because for me, Partey's weaknesses are he can't shoot on goal well. He can't score many goals for you from deep in the midfield, and he's not going to create as many chances in form of assists per 90. You need then a player who can give you that, just go for House Aouar. As simple as that. Aouar is good for that. He was born to do that, and he does it very, very well. That is my honest opinion. Guido Rodriguez, yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. I would have done his signing in the summer, but I would only take him if you're bringing him as a backup player, not as a regular starter, or maybe bring him to play where Xhaka plays. But I would love to replace Xhaka with a better talent. I would love to replace Xhaka with someone who is very, very talented on the ball. Renato, the Renato kind of player, the likes of Arthur Miller. But anyway, that is the update from Spain is that we will be looking to sign in Guido Rodriguez, and an official offer is already on the table for the club itself, Fiorentina. Right. So, basically Saturday, that is what we have to discuss. Any more stories? I'll be coming up with Mikel Arteta's press conference later on as we also look into the Leeds game. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Let's talk about let's have some of your comments and what you people are saying in the chat. Make sure you smash that like button. I'm absolutely grateful when you do that. Please do make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you smash the like button. We are 3 more likes away from 60. Wow, that's quite impressive. 3 more likes away from 60. Let's get it done. All right, let's get that done. 3 more likes away from 60. Hey, Cossy, how are you doing, Sermon, today? Hope you're doing well this morning. James, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Simon says we need a striker urgently. Jen says Isak is the man we need. Look, listen. I think the urgency of Arsenal needing a striker has been talked about. We've talked about the urgency of Arsenal needing a striker, and it is more likely. It's more likely that we will get a striker either in the summer or in January. At least what I know is that Arsenal are being reportedly, looking at a striker in January or in the summer. At least 2 strikers. So that one I can confirm. Isak is also linked at the moment, but nothing is close, right? Nothing is close. We are 1 like away from 60. 1 like away from 60. So let's get it done. Just 1 like button. So Simon says we need someone who can score in every game. There is no player who can do that, but we need someone. For me, I think we need a striker who has that love. That's right, a striker who is relentless, a striker who still believes in winning the Golden Boot. My problem with Aubameyang now is that he's lost that trust. He doesn't believe that he's going to win the Golden Boot anymore. I think that kind of that kind of trust in himself, that kind of belief in himself is gone. He no longer believes that he can win the Golden Boot. And if a player no longer believes that he can win the Golden Boot, and you are a striker, I think the club really doesn't have to waste any more time on you. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. We need to get 100 likes on this stream, so make sure you're hitting the like button. We are at 63. Let's get them to 70 about now. About seven 7 more likes. Fenta says striker and box-to-box attacking midfielder is what we need. Rican says, Cossy, you're over-defending indiscipline of a player. No, that is where you're getting wrong. That is where you're getting it wrong, lads. That is where you're getting it wrong. I'm not defending Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's indiscipline. I'm not defending Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's indiscipline. What I'm saying is that the standards that are being set and the punishments for the violations do not move hand in hand. They are not. They are not. How should I say it? They are not fair. They are really, really not fair. I'm not defending Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang being stripped of his captaincy. I agree. We need a captain who is serious. We need a captain who can, deal with things in a little bit mature way. But also, Mikel Arteta needs to mature up. He needs to mature up. Like lads, to be honest, are you really happy with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang being thrown away like some piece of rubbish, like some piece of garbage? Our ex-captain, not even a month. No, I'm not happy. I'm not. It's not okay with me, honestly. It's not okay with me. I'm telling you for facts. It's not okay with me. Regan says, remember, if you give an olive hand to a player, the vice might go to the rest of the squad. What about Xhaka then? Xhaka is still here. Xhaka then should be Xhaka should have been banished, and I think that's the difference between managers like Unai Emery and managers like Mikel Arteta. Because again, think about it. If we are saying that this lad should be banished, Aubameyang should be banished, then also as well, Xhaka should have been banished. But was he banished? No, he wasn't banished. I think we've gone too far as a club. We've really, really gone too far. Anu, good morning. Says good morning to you, my man. Anu, hope you're doing well. Matthew says, is it true? Is it true? I don't know I don't know really what you're asking there. Timo says yes, Cossy. We need a Cazorla-like player. Big up to you, Timo. Kelly says hi, Cossy. Vincent says, hope you're all right, mate. Arsenal should go and get Frank Kessie and Calvert-Lewin. I do agree with the Frank Kessie suggestion, though. Seiko Rashid says, I agree with you, Cossy. We need a striker who is a golden boot material and ambitious. Right? I think that is what Aubameyang has lost. That is what we've lost as a club. We need that kind of player that is going to fight, that is hungry to win the golden boot. If you're telling me that, I agree. If you're telling me that we need a striker that's going to give us 30 goals in a season, because many players can do that, with that, I agree. But if you're telling me that we should banish Aubameyang because of his poor form, no. I do not agree with that. We're at 65 likes. Thanks, everybody. Wow. This is going to quite impressive. Let's get 5 more likes and get to 70 there. 5 more likes. Make sure you're hitting the like button. And of course, please make sure you hit the like button if you're an Arsenal fan and you love Arsenal Football Club and you think we are going to win today. Papi says, super Cossy. Thank you, Papi. Much really appreciate. Danny says, hi. How are you, Danny Dennis? Hope you're doing well. Humphrey says, you're always against Xhaka. If we lose him, no midfield at all. Look at Partey, Lokonga. No one close to Xhaka. Lokonga is played several, but has never proved himself as a player to depend on. Wow. I'm interested by this. I'm honestly interested by this. Look, guys. This is what I'm saying. This is the problem. That the standards apply to some people and they do not apply to some players. Xhaka is strangling players on the pitch. Xhaka is stepping on the Arsenal jersey on the ground, and he's throwing the shirt away, and he is captain. And the standards do not work with Granit Xhaka. The manager comes out and says, I understand Xhaka and I understand the position in which he is. Aubameyang is almost in the same situation after some time. And the manager says, we have taken this decision because we want to protect the club and the players failed to meet the standards. He will not be doing the basics with us. Don't you feel like there is something that is unfair there? It's unfair. I'm talking about the unfairness. If you have given Xhaka a second chance, if you have given Xhaka amnesty, I don't know if the word amnesty should be used. I hope it's not too strong for this scenario. But if you've given Xhaka amnesty, right? If you've given Xhaka amnesty, give Aubameyang amnesty as well. As simple as that. Cut and copy, cut and paste. Xhaka gets amnesty, so does Aubameyang. Aubameyang is not different from Xhaka. They have all violated, the club's standards. They have always, they have acted in ways that are really different from what the club believes in and what the club wants to do. So banish both of them. Don't banish one of them. That is my point. That is my point. And I hope I hope I really make a good point. I really hope so. I really hope that I make a good point. 2 more likes to 70 people. Thanks everybody for doing that. 2 more likes. Othiena says, could it be sort of okay, let me say the word, but I wouldn't want to say it. Could it be sort of, I'm not even going to say the word. Let me just show you the comment. Could it be that? Now there is a possibility that many fans and many people will take it like that. But thinking about Mesut Ozil, who was treated in the same way, because I know many people are going to bring in Xhaka, Pepe and Aubameyang, but Mesut Ozil was treated in the same way, and so was Matteo Guendouzi, and that is what disqualifies that school of thought. No, that school of thought would apply if it was if it was a very one category of players that have everything in similar. But this if you look at these players, they're indifferent. Guendouzi, France; Ozil, Germany; Aubameyang, Gabon; Pepe, Senegal. 2 from Africa, 2 from Europe. So for me, it is Mikel Arteta's ego. Unless someone brings a better explanation, it is Mikel Arteta's ego. He's saying, I'm the boss here. What are you saying? I'm the boss. What are you saying? Talk to me. If you got anything to say it now. That is his mentality as manager. That is his mentality, and it is really, really pissing me off. I never wanted to do a rant, and that's why I didn't do a rant. I never wanted to do a rant, but I would have done a rant because I feel like it's disrespectful to my man Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Really disrespectful. Right, so Mwaka Chris says another weekend live on Cossy's podcast here in Gulu. Love the podcast, love the updates. Big up, lad. Thank you so much, my man. Mwaka, you're really, you're really a blessing to me. Another weekend from Mwaka. We need Renato Sanchez. Ricky Mo says, hi, Cossy. Remember what Aubameyang posted after United lose? He never said sorry. Look, listen. Okay, let's talk about this, Ricky. Let's talk about this, Ricky, because again, all the reasons why I want to do these lives is to interact with you lads. So, look, Aubameyang is wrong, and I said it when I was defending Arsenal when they took his captaincy away, and I said, when you do something stupid, when you do something immature, when you break the rules, the first thing you do as captain, acknowledge your mistake and show some kind of, it's called remorse. Show some kind of remorse. Did he do that? Did he do that? He didn't. He really didn't. I've seen players like Saka apologize for missing one chance or two chances for losing a goal. Players apologizing, not really because look, if a player apologizes for losing a chance, it doesn't make it a goal. If he doesn't apologize for losing a chance, it doesn't mean he was right to miss the chance. But it adds some value to you as a person. It adds some. There is, let me tell you, when we lose a game, I know that Saka hurts so much. But listen, Saka might not be the only player who hurts when we lose a game. But I know that Saka hurts because he has ever posted after a game when we lost and said, sorry, as the fans, we will do better and you guys deserve better. So I know where Saka stands when we lose a game. That is what Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did. And I think we are meeting two egos, right? And this is why I think we will have a dressing room fight. We will have a dressing room clash. Listen, we are having two egos. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang who says, I went to France, I had a good time, I went to see my mother, I came back late. I'm not saying sorry for that because I had gone to see my mother. And when I came back, I want to have a tattoo. Right? And I also drive a sleek Lamborghini. And Mikel Arteta who says, I'm the manager, I'm the boss, you're going to do whatever I tell you. If you fail to do that, I'm going to kick you out of the door. And Aubameyang's like, right, can I kick me out? Kick me out. Kick me out. I'm ready for whatever you're bringing. You're bringing. It's just two egos, two stupid egos, really. I mean, if it was Sir Alexander Chairman Ferguson, I think what he would do is he would strip you of his strip you of your captaincy, and make you an ordinary player. Treat you just like any other player. I think that is what we needed to do with Aubameyang. As simple as that, by the way. I just figured it out. I'm a genius. Like, treat him just like any other player. Yes, he's earning a lot of money and things like that, but just show him, just treat him, just put him back to that level. You're just like any other player in this club. But again, banishing him, this is not traditional society where you created you commit an omen and then you axed from society. It's so rudimentary. I even don't want to think about it really. You know that we shall miss big chances of signing up good players from different leagues because of that because of those immature characters. Cossy, if you don't have this is top. I really don't get your comment. Top, really don't get your comment. Make sure you revisit it in the chat again. Solomon says, what happened to Sanchez returning to Arsenal? I don't think Alexis is coming back. Yeah, the rumors were there, but I don't think Alexis is coming back. Solomon. Frankie says players must work for their pay. He says yes, Arteta is the boss. Okay, and then Vincent says Pepe is Ivorian, not Senegal. Thank you so much. Listen, look, Arteta is the boss. So is any other Premier League boss, right? Arteta is the boss. So is any other Premier League boss. But why are we having very, very many controversies in Mikel Arteta's dressing room? And why are these controversies linked to his ego as a manager? Why? Well, let's think about it. Cossy, your ex-captain is now cataining. Is now cataining young talents like Mike Nelly. He's not delivering, and he is aged. He's 31. He's 31. He's not delivering. I agree. He is aged. He's 31. It's just that the likes of how old are the likes of Zlatan, Lewandowski, Messi, Ronaldo, and they're still delivering. I think the fact that he's not delivering is not connected to his age for me. I think it could be personal reasons or things that are really away from his age. I don't think he's not really delivering because of his age. Anna says, I remember Auba carried Arsenal on his shoulders for many times. And Frank says Auba commits this offense regularly. So I think, listen, the point Anu puts across that Auba carried us on his shoulders for some time, is what I was trying to say. That maybe he deserves some respect. Maybe we should put some respect on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's name. Maybe we should act a little bit mature when we are handling his situation. 5 more likes to 80. Thanks everybody for doing that. 76 people watching. Hit the like button. Let's get them to 80 likes right about now. So, with Aubameyang, we've got to reflect. We've got to have some reflection as a club. Do have some reflection, and when we have, when we get the reflection, we will know that Aubameyang needs to be treated better than he is being treated at the club right now. Just have that simple reflection, right? Just have that simple reflection. I think Aubameyang is not the worst player in the world. He's none. We've got to agree to it. He's none. Even at his worst, he's not the worst player in that squad. I mean, banish Kolasinac, banish everyone who's not really doing well. If it is for performance, if it is breaking the laws, if it is breaking the rules, then we know many players should be banished. In that Arsenal squad. Okay. What are you people saying? I still want to talk to you in the chat. Yes, Auba should be respected. Thank you so much, Anu. Thank you so much. Right? Thank you so much. Someone agrees with me. I think that he deserves some respect. He deserves some degree of respect. He deserves, the loyalty. Where is the loyalty of Arsenal Football Club? Where is the loyalty to your ex-captain? Where is the loyalty? Where is it? Right? Where is it? Where is the loyalty? Why are we being very, very ungrateful? Why are we being so forgetful? Why are we saying we do not care? We care. I think we should care. Right? I think we should care. But anyway, lads, this is the first edition of our morning Saturday live, and I'm really happy with everyone who's given me your comments, because this is what I want. I want to take more comments during the weekends, right? I think Aubameyang's lack of form has also escalated the situation. Thank you so much, Seiko Rashid. And he says, Arteta feels he is no longer adding value to the squad. Listen, thank you so much for this comment. Thank you so much for this comment. It is appreciated, massively appreciated. 80 people watching. Let's get in 10 more likes on the stream, lads. Don't be like Tottenham fans who are really toxic. Just hit the like button because you're an Arsenal fan, you're a Gunner, and you're better. Listen. If Aubameyang had 20 goals so far, okay, 20 is too much. If Aubameyang had scored 15 goals already this season, would the captaincy also been, would his captaincy go away? It's a question. If he had scored 10 goals or 15 goals this season so far, would his captain have been taken away? Someone should answer that question. If Aubameyang had scored 13 to 15 goals this season, would he have been banished from the squad? And that's why I'm saying that this is clearly affecting a player who is already affected. We are not thinking about the player, right? It is Aubameyang is doing poorly, Aubameyang is performing poorly, kick him out, he's no longer relevant. Seriously. I'm really surprised that, with the way Arsenal handled this. I'm really surprised. Hit the like button, people. Make sure you get in your like and of course your comment as well. Smash the like button. Do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right hand corner there. Arteta is taking everything too far. Players that are once players are the ones. I think. Listen. Kelly, I didn't get to encode your to decode your comment so well, but there was a time when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang stood up for Mikel Arteta. Even the FA Cup, that we always say that Mikel Arteta won the FA Cup, it is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang that won that FA Cup for him. And what a disgrace, really! What a disgrace that He just says no longer important. But anyway, lads, Arteta inherited a declining Arsenal, and there are reasons behind his this decline. Arteta must have found big boys, a big boys club at Arsenal, and I think he is ruthlessly dealing with it. Ruthlessly, if you're saying he is ruthlessly doing with the big egos at the club, how about Granit Xhaka? That's the only question I will be asking. So we are sponsored by the beautiful people at Melbet. Make sure you do check out Melbet. Bet with them this weekend. We have a big game coming up, Arsenal versus Leeds. Make sure you use promo code Cossy, COSSY in capital letters. Let's call this a stream, and we'll be back when we speak about much of Mikel Arteta's press conference and the game in general.